So we are coming to the end of a nearly year-long journey when this video sponsor USAA asked us to build just the craziest gaming PCs we could possibly think of. So one was for the eSports team for the Navy. Another was for the Air Force. And now for the Coast Guard. And each has been bespoke and unique in their own right, but this one might be my favorite one yet. So to catch you up, this is build number 3 of 3, the finale, the bookend to our PC build for the Coast Guard. And here at JFL, we all have personal connection to the military in some form. So for a lot of us, this goes beyond just a sponsorship with USAA. If you're not familiar with them, they're actually the insurance company that I've been using for the better part of a decade, but an insurance company that provides financial services and products to military members and their eligible family members. They offer a ton of insurance services for your car, your home, if you're renting, and way more. So if you want to learn more about USAA, check out the link down below. Okay, so like the previous 2 projects, the goal was to build something bespoke here for the eSports team for the Coast Guard Academy to use and hopefully compete with. So the ones that we've sent to the Navy and Air Force have already been sent out, so hopefully they've been a pretty key component to some big team wins. And I'm hopeful this one for the Coast Guard will do the same. So what isn't the same though is the design of each computer. So we've tried to come up with something unique for each branch, and no different this time. When we were planning this one for the Coast Guard and trying to come up with concepts, there were some pretty far out there ideas. We knew the goal was obviously water. We thought about trying to have the PC sort of sitting in fluid. Went with something a little safer, in my opinion. So now, keep in mind, this isn't going to be any sort of build tutorial or anything like that. There are a lot of people online that could do much better tutorials than I ever could. I'm not gonna show you step by step how to build a computer or how we built this computer. I'm just gonna show you the highlights of the whole process, all the way to the finished product of this absolute just banger of a computer. To do that, let me hand it over to our PC building guru, my Jedi that has taught me about how to build computers throughout this whole process. It's all yours, Terrence. Today is a good day to build a PC. We're back. This is our 3rd build for the US military. We are back with our last and final one for the US Coast Guard. We figured if it's our last one,
yeah, hey, we might be doing more. I mean, who knows?
I mean, we still got.
These have been fun.
We got Space Force. We haven't hit Space Force. We haven't hit, and we didn't get a chance to do Army.
Maybe Boy Scouts. I mean, we could do all kinds of things. Who knows?
So I think we brought the thunder this time, especially with this case. So it's Coast Guard. It's water everywhere. This case is true to theme. Oh, also this is Terrence. Terrence is back.
Hello. How you doing?
You guys know Terrence from the past 2 videos.
Yeah. And this case is water personified. I mean, this is like true water cooling case. This whole backside is a distribution plate. That's what's like holding up this entire PC. So when it came to Coast Guard, we're like, hey, Coast Guard, water, this is the case to go.
Yep.
It's called the Thermaltake Distro Case 350P. So it's a lot, but yeah, it's a beauty of a case.
And I do want to say that this stuff on the front, these are not stickers. We actually went and had this etched into the glass, which is not an easy thing to get done. So our first build was Intel. Second build was AMD. We went back to Intel for this build, and if there is ever a 4th one, we'll go back to AMD for it.
Yep. So 12900KF processor. We have the brand new ROG Strix Z690A gaming Wi-Fi with DDR4 RAM. We went with DDR4 RAM because this RAM right here, this is nice. This is the Dominator's Corsair 32 gigs. It's going to look really, really pretty and white with this white motherboard, and it's a Coast Guard theme. So like blue, white, and so you just stay tuned. It's going to be nice.
And they're going to, again, the Coast Guard's going to use this for their eSports division, so they're going to game on it. So all this hardware plus, of course, blue fluid across the whole thing, because Coast Guard, blue oceans, made sense. So day 1, what are we doing?
Well, we have to start with the motherboard, as usual. So we have to put the processor on, the EK Quantum Magnitude CPU water block. So this thing is really, really nice. And of course the RAM, and then attach it to this thing right here, which has a nice little feature to make it easy to build in this case.
Love it. All right, let's do it. So it looks like we're like no time has passed. There's been months since you last saw us on here, and we got this build done. So, Terrence, why does this look different?
Well, because opportunities came about. When it comes to PCs and just technology overall, there are opportunities to do a nice little upgrade or get like things in hand first.
Yes.
Sometimes. So I realized that I could get my hands on this new EK water block. It's the EK Quantum Velocity Squared. And the performance has been stellar. So I actually did get to put this whole PC together, and I had to disassemble it for transport and all that stuff. There are things that I had to do because of the Coast Guard, right? One thing that I feel with the Coast Guard is safety. That kind of comes to mind.
Yep.
You know, and with water cooling PCs, there's plenty of opportunities for failures. So the more like 90-degree fittings you have, the more opportunity for water to leak and just bad things happen. So I was like, well, let me spend some time doing some creative bends to reduce the amount of fittings. And it also kind of looks a little wavy, like water and Coast Guard and stuff. And so that took a lot of time. So basically, like this little thing right here, and when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is Coast Guard. Like you turn this like that, and like the valve opens up, and the whole water
looks like a helicopter.
Yeah, the whole water just like comes right out. So this is going to be really cool. Plus, I also thought that we were going to go with one style of GPU.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, let's go with the XFX 6900 XT again, because this is also water cooling personified. It's the water block built into the GPU. Like, amazing.
And so this is our last build for the US military. So we built for Air Force, we built for Navy, and we're now finalizing it with the Coast Guard. And Terrence, you've obviously been the most instrumental part of sort of all three of those builds. I mean, it was a team effort. But like on a team, we were building PCs, especially at a time when it was like impossible to get, impossible to get components. And we had a lot of, I guess, help. None of the brands had any like sponsorship stake in any of this, but they did something kind of unique.
Yeah, they basically they said that, hey, we see that you're doing things for the military, USAA, you know, as a whole, and like different branches of the military. And normally when it comes to brands like PC brands, water cooling brands, they want to see a build of just their hardware. And when I told them, hey, like we're doing this for, you know, the Coast Guard, for Navy, for Air Force, they were just like, hey, you know, just whatever you need, just let us know. And we're gonna do our best to help you out. And this was when like you couldn't find a GPU. And so all of these companies like EK, Thermaltake, they really stepped up and just helped us out. Geez, I don't even know what we would have been trying to.
I don't know how we would have found components.
I have no idea.
And I think wrapping it up with Coast Guard, with this case, with this build, with this color scheme, when you guys see this thing fired up, you'll get it. A big shout out and thank you to USAA for making this whole series of videos possible, to the US Coast Guard, obviously, to Terrence. I went into this whole process having built, or at least been involved with building, I believe about 3 or 4 PCs. It was really an area of my knowledge that was very deficient, which is the reason that we invited Terrence to come and help, because I don't think I could have done it on my own.
It was fun showing you different things, and you picked up on a lot of things really quickly.
And some not so much.
Some, yeah, you need to work on your thermal paste, you know.
I mean, but I think this build came out really dope. I love, and this is credit to Terrence for the design cue on this, the red, white, and blue for, you know, obvious reasons, and especially the blue liquid in the back for like the water.
Yeah, it's like ocean blue type of thing, and obviously Coast Guard colors, and you know, it's basically patriotic as well. I think it really turned out very well. Plus a build like this with like the hardware we selected has 3 different RGB softwares, you know, so that actually kind of forced me to be kind of creative with this as well. And I just like the fact that it's a silent running PC because one, it is custom water cooling. You know, we have a nice size radiator here. The fans are great. They're just blowing air through, and they're not making any
It's
noise.
crazy quiet.
Yeah.
And like we went from the Navy, the big like desk PC.
That was fun.
Kind of like a nuts.
Yeah.
Biting off a lot with that video. To the Air Force, it kind of looked like a chopper. I think this is probably our simplest build, but I think it's probably the best looking out of the builds.
I think I poured more of myself into this one.
It's the cleanest, even like even in the back to like the valve to sort of drain the fluid. Like there was a lot of time spent on the little details. Like you could do kind of like a less busy build, maybe.
Yeah. So a build like this, I wanted to kind of showcase the capabilities of water cooling without taking away too much from the actual appearance of the build too. So it like kind of mirrors the two, because this case, I think I said it before, is like water cooling personified. Like the whole case is water cooling. So you didn't have to do too much. It was more just kind of connecting the dots, but I didn't want to use too many fittings to take away from what's going on here as well.
We may not have any more military branches to film for, but I may try to recruit you to help build a new gaming PC for me. And we can just have no restrictions.
Okay.
Build whatever we're interested in.
We can do something fun. Yeah. Maybe build it in a car. We'll see. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
As always, man.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
If anybody told me like 10 months ago we're working on a project that would span almost a year, probably wouldn't have believed it. My attention span is not that long. We did it. We made it to the end of the show. And instead of feeling exhausted, ready for the curtains to drop and head backstage, kind of hoping USAA asked us for an encore. Like, you know, I got a taste for it, and I'm ready for more. I mean, Space Force needs a computer. But for now, looking at this build, I think everything about this came out amazing. It was expertly assembled. RGB, I think, looks just incredible. The fluid looked great, and the performance makes it obviously a really powerful machine, not just in the looks. It also means something to me and the whole team here. They've got some connection to the military. So for me, it was an absolute honor and a privilege to learn what I consider to be a very new skill and sort of a big gap in my geek knowledge, and to do it and to build these computers for a cause that is near and dear to me was sort of just the icing on an already awesome RGB cake. So to USAA, to the US military branches, thank you for letting us be a very, very small part of the process.